Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Animaking 2, and today I'm going to be giving you part 22 of What If Naruto Was Abandoned in Awaken a Kekkei Genkai. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Rewrite the Past on this channel and enjoy that guys. And over on Anime King 3, I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto Was the Ultimate Saiyan, so go ahead and enjoy that guys. And over on Anime King, I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto Was a Prodigy with an unknown bloodline, so go ahead and enjoy that guys. And remember, if you're new, to go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying talking about to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, what is to begin this new episode? Start the intro. So the last time we left off, as Naruto came by, Hana was in a room as he came in there. After the traumatic event that happened, as Naruto sat there with her, he waited until she was ready to talk. But in her mind she was morely concerned about what he think of her, what he thought of her, if he even looked at her the same anymore. But all of those thoughts were dashed away from her mind when he spoke to her. It doesn't matter what happened, he will always be here for her. And he will love her the same no matter what. She wanted all the bad memories to be replaced with good ones, as she wanted to spend the night with him, intimately. As Naruto would do almost anything to make sure that she was happy. That night they slept together wonderfully. The next morning she woke up, as there was this relief off her shoulders. As Naruto was planning to leave the village though, she already knew about this as she already talked to her clan, her mother, and the Hokage. She was gonna come with him, as Naruto was delighted to hear that. Given recent events, well, this situation has turned rather hectic against him in this village. They didn't want him here anymore, knowing that he could just snap and kill all of them at whims, especially what he's been through when he was younger. As for his mother, and Katsumi and the others, he hadn't seen them yet. As Naruto made his way towards the council chambers as he talked with them, he told them how he infiltrated Orochimaru's base that was in the Fire Nation, that he left Katsumi and Hana in. As he told them about the man that he found there, who gave him the information, and by the time Naruto arrived it was too late, and what happened to Hana. Naruto ripped those men apart in the most gruesomest way possible, as he annihilated the entire base after getting the two girls back here. But that was not the only thing that he found. He found papers, documents, to link Danzo to all of this. He was the one that gave Orochimaru the schematics on the village, the new system upgrade and everything. As Naruto was pissed off, he was outright violent, bloodthirsty, as he turned his gaze towards Danzo. An explosion went off as Danzo expected to see his roots to back him up, but none of them came as Naruto told him that they are all dead. Hiruzen told his envoys to go and apprehend Danzo, but Naruto told them to move. As Danzo was his, he was going to tear him apart with his bare hands. So yeah guys, it was basically as we left off. You guys can switch across the place, check out for yourself. So this will begin this new episode. Enough! Said Naruto, as the envoys were moving towards Danzo. He's mine. Naruto, I'm sorry, said Hiruzen, but this is how traitors are dealt with. I'm sorry, Chichi, but he's mine, said Naruto, his tone leaving no room for argument. What do you mean? The first time I came here I told this council, if anyone, their reputation be damned, tried to harm those who I care about, I will be the one to be delivering judgment Not only has Danzo put those I care about in countless dangers for years because of his dealing with Orochimaru, but he incited the invasion that occurred days ago. Not to mention what happened with Hana. The grown broke under the pressure, and I would be his executioner. And if anyone stands in my way, you will suffer the same fate as well, said Naruto, his eyes turning murderous. Sarutobi frowned at his words. Naruto, I know how you must be feeling, but Danzo must have the proper trial to be sentenced with fitting punishment. As Naruto chuckled at that, but the laughter was not good. It was wicked, cold. Sorry, JJ, said Naruto, but no one, save for a select few, know how I feel. And you ain't one of them. So unless, in the next 30 seconds, you put Danzo through several years of beating, rotten food, worn out clothing, hate, discrimination, you don't really have much leverage to say to me, or can stop me, said Naruto. And considering that his charges is treason, he's gonna be killed anyway. I will be the one to carry that execution. Sarutobi opened his mouth to retort, but the bloodlust of Naruto kept on fluctuating even higher and higher. And Sarutobi knew that Naruto was right. As Naruto started to simply walk towards Danzo, sweat started to fill Danzo's brow, as everyone was just sitting in their chair. With Danzo's secret army gone, he only had these people to call upon protection now. Why are you all just standing there? Are you going to allow these demons to do what they want to us? You may think I'm a traitor, but I've helped protect this village more often than any of you. Are you really going to allow these outsiders free rein to do what they want in our village? He yelled, expecting some of the bolder members to stand up and get in Naruto's way because of their hatred of the Kyuubi. But no one moved. He looked towards Civilian Council. They were scared shitless, as Naruto looked like a raging demon, his eyes bloodlusted, not to mention the rage leaking from him. I see. You're all a bunch of spineless, pencil-pushing coward, Danzo shouted. No wonder I wanted Orochimaru to destroy Konoha. You're all too weak-willed to do what it takes to bring Konoha to the pinnacle of strength. If I stood as Hokage, this village would have had no rival. No one would ever attack because of the fear. But that old monkey got the job instead, offering aid to our enemies to gain peace, instead of conquering your nations. This village will fall because of your ideals, and when it does, you will all realize your mistake, and that you're too damn late to do anything because you are too also damn soft. And when you do, I'll be laughing at you from my grave, Danzo said. Before Danzo could utter another word, his throat was grabbed, silencing him as Naruto threw him. The man smashed into the wall, breaking it with his back. But instead of falling, Naruto threw several kunais they embedded in his clothing, keeping him pinned. As Naruto's blade materialized in his hand, Danzo spat in disgust. As Naruto didn't even speak as he dried the blade in his stomach, Danzo winks in pain. I want everyone to see this. Anyone that messes with anyone I love will suffer the same fate, said Naruto, as he ripped the blade out as Danzo winks out in pain. As Naruto slashed his blade a few times, Danzo's shirt was ripped off, showing his torso. As Naruto then plunged his blade inside Danzo's stomach 8 more times, as more blood flowed like a river. As Naruto then walked up to him and healed him, surprising everyone, as Danzo was there gasping for breath. What is he doing? Is he gonna torture him in pain until he dies? Inoichi said. That is exactly what he's gonna do, said Hayashi as his Byakugan was activated. What do you mean? He just healed him, said Choza. It seems like he only healed what we can see. Hayashi, you see something different, right? Said Shikaku. Hayashi, what exactly is going on? Said Tasumi, as she wanted the bastard that caused this to suffer. He only healed Danzo's skin. His stomach is another story. As they realized the implication behind his words. Wait, you mean? Yes. He's allowing Danzo's stomach acid to leak out through those 9 cuts and eating Danzo's stomach out. As Danzo screamed a blood-curdling scream, the man was suffering in agony and pain as he couldn't do anything about it. Danzo never thought anything in this world could feel this painful. How do you feel, Danzo? Said Naruto as he looked him in the eyes. I won't give you satisfaction, you demon. As Danzo opened his mouth to spat as Naruto slammed his fist right in his face. As Danzo saw stars. That's fine. Keep up your bravado. I know exactly what you're feeling. I was just curious. As Danzo continued to scream, This is... this is barbaric. One of the siblings member whispered, but what are we gonna do? We can't stop him. Not only is a demon, but that other woman as well. We have to do something. We can't just allow them to do what they want. This is our village, and he's supposed to be our weapon like Danzo-sama said. As the two were cut off, You're free to try, but I don't suggest it, said Shikaku, after overhearing them. As blood started to leak from Danzo's nose and his mouth and his ears as the man was groaning and crying out, begging to be ended, as the pain was becoming unbearable. A sound of something sizzle could be heard. It sounded like someone was cooking bacon. They each looked towards the origin, but they couldn't find it until Hayashi pointed towards Danzo. It was the center of Danzo's stomach. A small hole started to arrive. As the orange liquid started to drip out of it, the hole started to expand wider and wider. The liquid was what was causing sizzling sound. As Danzo's skin was burning away, his skin was corroded and melting away. It seems there was enough stomach acid to eat away at the inner flesh and move out towards the outer. The red blood and yellow stomach acid mixing together to make orange. The hole became bigger and bigger as it started to melt and trail down his body, slowly disintegrating the man. Slowly and in the most painfulest way possible. As Danzo's screams continued, he could not close his mouth. He could not stop crying out in absolute pain and agony. As the man was literally burned into two. From his stomach down he was split. As his head finally drooped. As he died in nothing but the worst pain possible, it seems. Organs and bones melting and oozing on the ground as he was pinned to the wall like a traitor he was. As Naruto removed his kunai, as Danzo dropped to the ground in a loud squelch. I hope this is a well example for you to understand what will happen to those who hurt the ones I love. You all think I'm a demon. Well, hurt the ones I love, and yes, you will be dealing with the demon that you always talk about, said Naruto, his tone ominous and wicked. Anvu, said Hiruzen, as the Anvus came over and discreetly removed the body, making sure not to touch any of the stomach acid. Know that that is over with. I'll be leaving Konoha, said Naruto as he turned his back. Hey, what about our bargain? I helped you, the Jonin from the sound said. Oh yeah, said Naruto. Mom. Kushina's head rose up at that, but Naruto wasn't looking at her, he was looking at Tsume. As she looked down, what was she even thinking? As Naruto tossed kunai towards her. Happy hunting. Wait, what do you mean by that? As Naruto freed the man. You should start running, said Naruto. But you said that you released me. I have, said Naruto. But it's now up to you to get away from them. As the man turned towards Tsume and the others. As the man picked himself up and ran, running for his life. As Tsume rushed after the man. A vengeful mother chasing after him. He would not escape. Now that I'm done here, said Naruto. Sayonara. As he disappeared in a purple flame with Natsume. Their rather abrupt visit and going away like that caused many to think about what they just witnessed. Anvu Hiruzen said frustratedly, gather all remaining Anvus you can and get to the gates. You are to prevent Naruto from leaving at all possible costs, except for lethal force. I don't want a bloodbath on my hands, understood? Yes, Hokage-sama. As Sarutobi then turned, I do believe that we have a few things left to discuss about Naruto, as he got several nods. Very well, let us begin before we lose his chance. He still wishes to speak to Naruto before he leave. With Naruto and Natsume, as they appear in front of the Insaka compound, and Naruto knocked on the door. So how was she? Said Natsume out of nowhere. As they waited for someone to answer the door. What do you mean? Come on, Naruto-kun, I can smell her all over you. So like I said, how was she? You can look for yourself if you want, Naruto. Well, I could. But we all want privacy, she said. And this is not something I'm willing to dive into. You're saying that? Hypocrite, said Naruto, as she smirked at that. Fine. She was exactly as I thought she would be. How I wanted her to be. Happy. That's not what I'm asking. And you know I'm not going to compare anyone, said Naruto, as she pouted, as Naruto gave her a quick kiss. You both are too different in your personalities to ever be able to compare. But if you must know both of you are better lovers than I could ever imagine, as he gave her another kiss, this one being a longer one and more passionate. Is that the acceptable answer? He asked. You know, you're getting a bit too good at that, she said. A cough interrupted them. You guys mind not making a scene on my doorstep, said Hannah, as she had a backpack over her shoulder, as she grabbed him and planted a kiss on his lip as well. After all, she had to get a taste as well, as it made Naruto's mind run into several fantasies with the three of them. We ready? She asked, once she broke away. We just have to go to the mansion before we go, said Naruto, as they made their way towards the mansion, as Naruto released secret seals. As they entered the house, we're back, he announced. Welcome home, said Elena. Everyone, I need to see you in the living room, said Naruto. ASAP. Everyone made their way as they arrived towards Namikaze mansion, right in the center. Alright, said Naruto, as you know. Today is the day that Hana-chan, Natsu-chan and I are leaving Konoha, he said. And unfortunately, with my absence, the protection I give you will be disregarded, and the village will try something, especially with your Genkai Haku, and Yujito, with you being a Jinjulki. So I must ask, what will you do? Silence reigned in the room, as everyone shifted uncomfortably, as they didn't know what to say. Naruto-sama, Haku-chan, said Naruto sweetly. Remember what I said, you don't have to address me like that. Oh, sorry, she said. But to your question, ever since I traveled with you and Natsume-chan, I felt accepted, happy even. I feel more human traveling with you than like a tool when I was with Sabuse-sama. I know it's selfish, but could I perhaps travel with you? I really don't want that feeling to go away, she said. And you too? Said Natsume, as she looked towards Yujito and Elena. The pair looked at one another before nodded, as they looked back towards Naruto and Natsume. Yujito and I have talked while you were gone, and in truth, many of our ideas and plans won't work for several reasons. But the main one being that she's a Jinjulke, and no matter what village she go to, they would want to use her in several ways. The other reason is the fear of Kumo. She'll become a missing and have Kumo trailing her wherever we go. No village will want to house us, and if they do, it's probably not to help, but to use her as well. Not only that, but we trust you, Naruto-kun. And with both her alive, that's a commodity. We don't want to give up that easily, I'm sure you understand. Since the moment you two have met, you have done nothing but helped her. You have gone out of your way to protect her, return me from Kumo, and bring us back together. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, we both wish to stay with you on your travels, if you will allow it. And where Yujito go, I go. And plus, the eye candy is a bonus, said Nibe. Give us a man, said Natsume, as she grabbed both Naruto and Hana and pulled them away. Well, that was unexpected, said Hana. Well, not completely, said Naruto. We all helped them out in their life, and they want to stay with us. But it's not like they're some wounded puppies who can't defend themselves on their own. They're all powerful in their own right, and they have some valid reasons. Oh, I'm sure that one of those reasons aren't for Yujito and your little cat there to ride you like a pony. Not so my joke. Wait, what? Said Hana. This isn't helping, said Naruto. Besides, I already talked to Yujito about her feelings for me. And as for the Nibe, she just needs a man, or perhaps 10, said Naruto. Well, how unfortunate for you. The only man that she wants right now is the one I'm looking at. Why haven't I been told about this, Naruto-kun? Hana said. I'll explain later, said Naruto. More importantly, what are your thoughts? As Natsume shrugged, I don't see a problem with it. I've kinda grown attached to Haku-chan, and I wasn't planning on leaving here without her in the first place. People will try to take advantage of her if we're not here to protect her. And not to mention having another Jinjulki. Well, it's a better protection in case things get serious. Not to mention Yujito. She's cool with me, and I'm happy that Nibi get to come along as well. So yeah, I have no problem. What about you, Hana-chan? Said Naruto. I'm fine with Haku-chan. We spoke a lot during the exams, and we became rather friendly to each other. But for Yujito, I'm not so sure. As Naruto frowned her answer as he understood what she was getting at, he cuffed her cheeks. Hana-chan, you know I love you, right? And you know I wouldn't do anything to ever purposely hurt you. As she nodded, Yujito does have romantic feelings for me, and I told her that I don't feel the same. But if anything changes in the future, I will have to speak to Hana-chan and Natsume-chan first, and she will have to speak to you guys as well. But no sooner than that, you two are my only mates, and I love you more than I can even express. So please, don't isolate her because of jealousy, said Naruto. Despite the fact another woman liked her and Naruto, she was happy how he dealt with the situation. And in the back of her mind, Hana couldn't really blame Yujito for falling for him. He was like the perfect man. Not to mention him and Yujito share more in common than him and her. So, she would fall for him. And he's just so ridiculous and nice and sweet. I understand Naruto-kun. I can certainly understand why she feel the way that she does. So I can't blame her for that. But if things change between you two, I'll hold it to you to discuss it with us first before jumping into anything. I know it's selfish of me, but I don't really want to share you any more than I after she said. The three of them then nodded as they went back towards the living room. Sorry for the wait. As for your decisions, are you sure that this is what you wanted? While you may leave us later on, we need to assure if you're serious about traveling with us now. Without missing a beat, all four females nodded. Alright then, we leave in 5. Time skip. Konoha Gate. The group of 6 were making their way towards the gate as everyone gave them a wide berth, giving the fox-like ears and tails that 2 of them possess. As Naruto snarled when he saw all the ninjas, Anvus, Jonins, all of them surrounding the gates and the walls. As Naruto huffed in annoyance as they reached the gate and came to a stop. As several of the Jonins were recognized from Chunin exams. What is the meaning of this, Kakashi? Said Natsume, in annoyance. Orders from Hokage-sama were to stop you two from leaving before he and the council speak to you. Although apparently the mission parameters have to be expanded to include your other companions, said Kakashi. What more could they want, Hana said, as she was worried that things would go badly. Quickly, as she saw that Naruto was getting really annoyed, before he took a breath and calmed down. We'll just have to wait and see, Hana-chan, said Naruto, because I really don't want to kill everyone here, just so I can leave. Don't get cocky, demon. It's you versus all of us. Do you think you can take us all? One of the shinobi said, as Naruto's eyes landed on man, but before he could say anything, stand down. I didn't give you an order to antagonize them. As Naruto turned to see Hiruzen, the remaining council was there, with Sarutobi and several people in the back, making Naruto and Natsume wonder why they were there. What is this all about, said Naruto. As I said, Naruto, we merely wish to speak to you before you left. And there's also a few questions I want to ask myself. If you simply wanted to talk, why bring out this blockade, said Natsume. As Hayashi stepped forward, taking over as the voice of council. Simply put, Natsume-san, both the Hokage and the remaining council have come to the agreement while our prior meetings with you have been hasty and presumptuous on our part. After what has occurred today's meeting and the evidence of your actions since you two have returned, we've come to the decision to have the son of Minato remain in Konoha and take over the Uzumaki clan, as well as everything associated with the clan, including the council seat, as well as those that is partnered with him, said Hayashi. Whispers and murmurs spread throughout all the ranks. As Naruto spoke up, no. Hayashi blinked in shock. He was just offered, him and the Kyuubi, a free return to the village, bypassing all the yellow tape, even a seat on the council. It's really simple, think about it. What exactly has changed between the first time you asked me to return and become the head of the clan, and now, said Naruto, as Naruto spoke up before the man could. As far as I am concerned, nothing has really changed. I have given up on hating you people a long time ago because it wasn't worth the trouble. But there's only a select few in this village that I like. As for the rest of you, you can rot for all I care, said Naruto without giving a damn what they felt. You don't know what it feels like to starve for death, be beaten to death, ostracized, used, abandoned, betrayed, torture. None of you know what it's like. I must say it's rather ironic, said Natsume. He's under your ranks. He was with the village, and yet, for something that he could not control, something that he did not do, you treat him like garbage, put him through hell, and yet you expect him to stay and protect you all, to fight for you, and even if he did in the first place. But when he turned his back and decided not to fight for you, you call him the worstest name possible. You treat him like garbage, like scum, and you still believe that you deserve for him to stay, because you're giving him some sort of title that he already has. He knows he's the 4th Hokage's son, and nothing will ever change that. So your title really means nothing to him. If he was really angry at you people, if he really cared anymore, he would have allowed Orochimaru to destroy this village and kill you all. Because you all don't seem to recognize, he was the one that saved the village in the end. He was the one that told you about the invasion. If he did not, there would have been more death. More of you would have lost your family, your loved ones, but yet, he came back. And he decided to warn you and save your pitiful life. No matter what he does, you humans, especially the ones in this village, will never treat him the same. As everyone was quiet after the little speech, Many people knew that they owe a great deal to the demon pair, but they were just fearful of getting ostracized, so they never spoke up. You're absolutely right, Natsumai-san, said Sarutobi. I've said it once before and I'll say it again, this village does not deserve someone like Naruto. Jinjokis like him are given a worse treatment in life than anyone else, and most of the times they don't even ask for it. They weren't even given a choice if they should become one or not. I can't apologize enough for what has happened, because those are just words and they will not change the past, or for my own actions in not helping or preventing more of the plague that fell upon you. The only thing I can say is, if you do decide to stay from this day forward, things will be different. Everything will be pardoned. The slate will be wiped clean. You won't have to worry about being protected in your own home. You will be safe, so please stay and reconsider. Don't leave your home. We want the hero that we should have treated you as. We want the Namikaze clan to be resurrected. Stay and protect the people that your father died for, said Inoichi. As Naruto stood there, truth be told, if it wasn't for these people who would have loved to stay here, after all his father died for this village not once but twice. But the past. He didn't care about this village anymore, other than a few select people. If it wasn't for them, he wouldn't even come back here to help them. It was just a few select people. The village means nothing to him. It really doesn't. Sorry, old man, said Naruto. But what you're offering me, I no longer need, said Naruto. I already have all the love I can get right here. And thanks to Natsuma, I am strong. Strong enough to protect those I love. Strong enough to protect those who are important. As for resurrecting my clan, I already have 2 beautiful mates that I plan to do that with. And I'm sure surviving with Namikaze clan won't be a big issue for the council after all. It's done for decades, said Naruto. As the civilians all heard that, a majority of them agree, reluctantly, but for one, it was too much. Here they were giving him full pardons of the Kyuubi after all the mass destruction, and the clans would protect him, and he refused? How can you refuse such a gracious offer? The Haruna head spoke up. We are allowing you and that woman pardon from your past actions and protections from all of the clans, and you refuse? In case you're forgetting, that woman you stand beside is a Kyuubi that nearly wiped us off the map 12 years ago. Yet we're willing to pardon that for her. How can you refuse us? You can live here without the threat of what you went through as a child. You can bring back your clan and help give strength to Konoha and all of Fire Country. Your strength would make the land of fire be feared once again. Like when your father was alive. This is the land of your birth. You're the son of the 4th Hokage. How can you refuse all that has been given to you? Not to mention your honor to obligate all the sacrifice of your ancestors and the sacrifice your father made. Are you just willing to throw that away? She argued, while not cursing at him. Her tone had anger in it same way. Those people that feared and hated him agreed with the woman quickly, changing their minds as some of them had believed that he was right, but now they agree with the woman just by hearing a few words. As Naruto burst out laughing as they all focused on him. You see, Gigi, said Naruto, nothing has changed. How quick they're willing to turn and change their minds. It will never change. They hate me because I house Natsu-chan. They fear me because of my power. What Haruna Head just spoke was what many of them are thinking right now, but they're too afraid to say out loud. They aren't genuine in wanting Naruto back. Let me tell you what they want. They want Namikaze back. They want the Kekkei Genkai back. They want their precious clan back. They want Konoha strength back, military. They want a pawn that they can control. They want the son of the Hokage to be a simple mindless pawn that they could use and control. She completely ignored the argument of why I'm leaving the village. The only thing that she wants is my strength, my clan's name, power. In truth, no one but the Inazaka, the Ichirakus, and you. You're the only 3 that want me back. Everyone else want me for my clan, not for me. Naruto-kun, I think he's right, Hokage-sama, said Yujito, as many scowled at her for involving yourself in Konoha matters. And who are you for involving yourself in Konoha matters? The Haruna head barked. I'm Naruto's friend for one thing, and more importantly, I'm a Jinjuriki, so I know what I'm talking about, she said. Please continue, said Sarutobi. Thank you, Hokage-sama. As I was about to say, I know firsthand what this village is trying to do. In Kumo, I'm hated, just like how you people hate Naruto-kun here. In fact, several weeks ago, Naruto-kun convinced the Raikage to have Kumo shinobis stop being hateful towards me. At first, I let myself believe in a dream that it was nice, the smiles, the admirations, of not being hated by my own people wherever I go. But the majority of them still fear and hate me for what I am. They despise me same way, hiding behind smiles and friendly cheers. And in my opinion, it doesn't matter what, they will always find one reason or another to hate you. I don't think it will be different for Indian jokers. People might say they changed, that they're different from the past, but they never truly change. It is always inside of them deeply. You just have to find a way to bring it out. Perhaps some of you has changed though, after seeing what you have witnessed, after his countless attempts of saving your life. And that make us happy. But still, it won't change the overall view of what all or most of you think in your heart. You offer him acceptance, hope, but he already has those things already. From us, who has never seen him as anything else but Naruto. And it's not like he need protection, because I really doubt anyone in this village can take him on. So what else can you offer him to stay? Nothing. And yet you want his power, his Genkai, his loyalty, his family, influence. So why? Why should he be submissive to you? I find this proposal one-sided, and you just damning him. Her views seem to just reinforce the feelings that most people had. Their fears of losing his strength to another village. Their hatred, their guilt, everything coming up at once. Ah, so this is where you've been hiding. A voice called out. A voice that Naruto and Yujito knew too well. As Raikage emerged in his official robes. You've been a very naughty kitty, Yujito, he said. His tone sounded jokey, but there was a very seriousness under his tone. Know that I find you, I can finally go back home. So let us go, he said, as he turned to walk away. No. The Raikage froze, as he wondered if he was mishearing things. He turned with shock and anger on his face at his weapon, what belonged to him, disobeying him. I must be mishearing. What was that? I said no. I'm not going back to Kumo with you. He took a moment to absorb her answer before he burst out laughing. Yujito, in case you've forgotten, your mother is under my protection, as well as getting medical assistance from Kumo. And I would hate for an unfortunate accident to appear if you don't cooperate, he said. He did not even notice that Elena was behind them, given the fact that she was behind Naruto and Natsumai, who dwarfed her small feature. Well, fortunate for you, Raikage, said Naruto. I happen to have a better medical program than you do, and Elena-san happened to be a perfect candidate, so I took her off your hands as a patient, so you can free up other spaces for other patients, said Naruto. The Raikage looked at the Henyu in front of him. There was a resemblance between him and the man that attacked his officers, but he didn't focus on that right now. All he saw was the demon features. Who the hell are you, and what do you mean? I'm surprised. Didn't I make a good impression on you? To forget me so easily. As Naruto's ears and tails disappeared in a hinge, as Raikage gasped. Ah, now you remember. As for what I meant, I found Elena and reunited her with her daughter, said Naruto. So that means you have no more leverage. That means she's free of you, and her slavery to Kumo is over, and she's now free. As Naruto stepped aside as he showed a pissed off Elena, the Raikage was shocked at this. He was never informed that she escaped or being rescued by anyone. Yet here his leverage was the only leverage that he had over Yujito. As he clenched his fist in rage, thinking about his options, he shot a look towards Hiruzen. Hokage-sama, I request that you assist me in detaining my shinobis trying to desert my village, which will make her a missing of Kumo, he said with gritted teeth. Well, you see, there's a problem there. I have offered Yujito and Elena protection, my personal protection. Konoha is having enough trouble trying to convince me to stay here, and if they were to attack, well, I will be forced to retaliate, and I doubt they want to do that, said Naruto. As Naruto gave Konoha an ultimatum. Sorry, Raikage-sama, but Konoha must stay outside of any inter-village military politics, especially of those villages where we're not allied with. It could cause a war. I hope you understand, said Sarutobi. As the Raikage clenched his fists, he could either attack Naruto and lose, or use the threat of war. A war that he would not win against the village. I see, he said. Very well then. I shall allow her a short vacation from her duties to Kumo, but she will be back, kneeling before me, he said, as he vanished in a sunshine after giving his threat. Thank you, Naruto-kun. Not a problem, said Naruto as he turned towards them. Never a dull moment with you, huh, Naruto, said Sarutobi. Story of my life, said Naruto. So there's really nothing that we can do to make you stay. Sorry, but no, said Naruto. This village has too many bad memories that I wish to forget. And I'm sure that the village will be happy to finally get rid of the demon child, said Naruto. As the two chat, they seem to forget everyone else. Where will you go? The sand, said Naruto. I promised to help guard his roommate. Shikaku is rather anxious to search his legs, I'm sure. After that, who knows? I have a few ideas but nothing too concrete. A voice spoke up as a few people pushed through the crowd. Why don't you come back with us? Several people looked towards the woman. As Nuts my Naruto raised the eyebrow. As Naruto looked towards the woman, he kept himself calm, and why would I do that? Last time I checked I was less light there. Then, I was in Konoha. More importantly, after my banishment, why would you and the clan allow it? Kushina, said Naruto. Kushina dreaded this conversation. She knew all that she had did. After Minato was able to knock some sense into her mind had shut down for hours. Her mind had fought against her body had fought against her mind, and yet Minato was right. She knew that no amount of apology could make him forgive her, but she had to at least try. I can lift the banishment and allow you back after that. I can announce to the clan that you are not what we say you were. That you weren't a Kyuubi, but a human. And my son, she said. Her gaze pleading, filled with nothing but sadness, shame, and regret. Naruto shook his head. People aren't just robots that you can program. When you want something gone from them, and they will just respond. People remember what they believe, even if what they believe in is wrong. You can't just say for over a decade that I'm the Kyuubi, and then out of the blue say I'm your son. I will still be hated, and treated the same way like I'm here, just on a smaller scale. I can't defend that, she said. You're right. And it's all my fault. For not protecting you better. For not protecting you against those who spoke ill about you, including myself. For being such a terrible mother. But I know better now. I know better for what I said about you. The way I treated you. For everything, she said. I know you're not the Kyuubi like I said you were. You're my son. A piece of Minato. The last piece that I have left, she said. Please, I want to be the mom I should have been for you. For all those years. My son. My blood. My Naruto-chan, she said. Come back with us. With me. Please, she said. She started to cry after her speech. Many of the onlookers were moved by her words. As many people started to change their minds even more about him, if the woman, who was the most known to despise the demon, realized that he was not the demon, well, perhaps it's different now. As another person stepped up, it was none other than the Perfect Sage. I think you should reconsider both proposals, Naruto. I mean, you may not believe it, but people can change over time. And while I admit not everyone will change their minds and opinions about you and Natsumai-chan, I believe your actions in the village will put you in a new light for people to accept you in time. I agree, Naruto-kun, said Tsunade as she emerged as well. Things may not be perfect for you if you stay here, but it will be a lot better than when you were a child. I even plan to become the 5th Hokage once Sarutobi-sensei retires, so you will have a powerful ally by your side within the village. Stay in the land that your dad lived and died for. Please, stay and protect, and raise a family in a home where your parents once lived. She said in a pleading tone, hoping that somehow, some way, that this would change his mind. Many of them gasped when Tsunade said that she would be the next Hokage, as that was not common news. That's the problem, said Naruto. I'm already happy. Leaving those villages all those years ago made me happy. So why should I return and scrape up for happiness? The only good thing that I came back for was the Inazaka clan, and Hana-chan, and Yujito-chan. And right now I'm satisfied. So there isn't any reason for me to stay, said Naruto. You say my actions towards the village will help me gain some credit because I saved the people, but why? I should have been treated like you said from the very beginning. But no, I wasn't. And I'm already happy. So there's no reason for me to stay here. Because there's nothing I want that is here. Jiraiya was the one to speak up next. Was it really so horrible here for you to never consider returning? Said Jiraiya. Even if the people decide to change their minds and ideas about you. As a wave of murderous killing intent spread from Naruto, as he felt 2 hands on his shoulder, as the 2 girls calmed him down. As he gave them a nod before stepping forward, everyone prepared themselves for a fight. You want to see how cruel it was, said Naruto. I'll show you. Demon art. Sands of the past. As he captured Jiraiya, Tsunade, and Kushina. If you 3 can tell me that I should stay after witnessing this, if you can give me a valid reason, I will hear you out, he said, as he pressed his tail tips on their forehead, as all of their eyes went white. A few minutes passed with nothing happening, until everyone felt something as the envoy was moving. A lone envoy was moving through the crowd, perhaps giving some order or something. Seeing that Naruto was not moving at the moment, his sword drawn, but before he could reach Naruto, his face was grabbed by Natsume. This is exactly what I'm talking about. She slammed him into the ground so hard his head exploded upon contact. This is exactly where we're leaving. You guys get ready to leave. He's just about finished, she said. She was done wasting her time with these people, and Naruto was too, because after they see what he's went through, if they could honestly see that he has a right to stay here, she would kill them without hesitation. As Naruto broke apart. Now tell me, said Naruto, should I stay here? The three were pale, like they had just seen a ghost. As Kushina dropped to her knees, tears leaking from her face, her body shaking in anger, sadness, regret, pain, anguish. What did you do, said Sarutobi. I showed them my life. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. She kept on repeating over and over. You should be, said Naruto, interrupting her, his voice cold. You abandoned your firstborn, your child, left him to suffer, and now you saw what I went through. Now you see everything. You're a piling mess on the ground. Tell you what, you just saw it. I had to experience it. So you should be sorry, Kushina, said Naruto. For those 2 years of the clan, with my mother, I loved you. But then you all abandoned me. As Naruto turned his back on all of them. As Naruto felt someone coming towards him, but there was no killing intent. As Natsume saw who it was. As she saw Naruto stopping her from doing anything, the person rushed into him and hugged him from behind. Don't go, said Katsume as she held onto his shirt crying. I don't want you to go. As Naruto turned, as he caressed her head, in truth, she was the only person that he was willing to put everything aside for. Her children was corrupted, but the other two, Naruto didn't like them one bit, but Katsume, after realizing her mistake, she showed that she cared about him. She protected the Ichiraku family with her life, almost getting killed because of him, something he was grateful for. And she was the only one that questioned her clan's teaching that he was a demon. He didn't care for the other two, but for her. At least, he didn't hate her. Sorry, Katsumi-chan, he said. But you know I can't stay here. And you know, I won't be welcome in the clan. I know, I just don't want to lose you. I finally get you back and I'm losing you already, she said in tears. I know it's not fair, said Naruto. Hey, how would I give you something to see me whenever you want? Her eyes light up at that. Really? You really mean it? As Naruto reached into his pouch, as he handed her a normal-looking kunai, as he was again jutsu over it, hiding the three prompt. Now, he said, as he went towards her ears and started to whisper something that no one could hear, telling her that she should only use it when she was alone. Not even when her mother and brother was there. If they find out that you have it, they could use it for some unpleasant purposes. Also, don't use it for any little thing. I prefer some categories of training help, emotional help, or life-threatening help. Do you understand what I'm telling you, said Naruto. And promise to only use it when you need me, said Naruto. As she nodded. As she was still crying a bit as she nodded. As Naruto stepped back away from her, with a smile. As Naruto stepped towards the old man. You're really leaving, huh? Yep, said Naruto. As a peer, shared a hug. I really missed you. I'll miss you too, said Naruto. Hey, what about me? You weren't planning on leaving without saying sayonara to your mother, now were you? Said Asumi with a sad smile. I wouldn't dream of it, as he hugged her. As she hugged him back. Take care of yourself. And take care of my daughter, because if you don't, I'll hunt you down, she said, with a sweet smile. Of course I will, said Naruto with a smile. I'm proud of you, she said. As she gave him a genuine, motherly smile. It made him feel happy. He was just angry that she couldn't come with him. But he knew the reason why she could not. As they broke apart. Where did Naruto-kun? Said Hana. As she already had a long talk with her mother before coming here. It was a long talk. Yeah, said Naruto. Let's go. Wait, said a voice. As Naruto turned, this voice was strangely familiar. As he turned towards the person, but it wasn't anyone here. This person was just arriving and was telling him to wait. As Naruto blinked, he was surprised. But guys, be in subscribe right here. If you want the next part to do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification as they posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto rewrote the past, and enjoy that guys over on Anime King. Yeah, this channel. And also over on Anime King 3, I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto Became the Ultimate Saiyan. So go ahead and enjoy that guys. And over on Anime King, yes guys, my third channel, I also post a brand new episode of What If Naruto was a prodigy with an unknown bloodline. So go ahead and enjoy that guys. But for now, motivate, see you guys soon. Peace.